Good afternoon. We had a lot of showers throughout the area this morning and throughout the day. Fortunately, looks like that storm system has really moved off to the south and southeast of us. And if you look across the satellite right now, looks like things are pretty clear throughout northwest Florida and South Alabama. In fact, a lot of that storm system is off into central Florida area. Looks like we're going to be clear from all that rain throughout the next couple of days. If we look at our forecast for tomorrow, you can see a high of 70 degrees. We are seeing cooler temperatures. I'll tell you why coming up in my full forecast. Looks like we're going into a great weekend.
Channel 3 News First Warning WeatherNet is brought to you by Sacred Heart Health System and Ailstock, Whitcomb, Crease and Overholtz. Here is Jaimee Lee.
Well, good evening. If you're taking a look at your TV right now, you can see things have really cleared up throughout the area. You're looking through our Hardee's Beach Cam, and looks like it's shaped up to be a very nice day out there on Pensacola Beach. Now, that was not the case earlier today. In fact, if you take a look at our rainfall totals, with that storm system that moved through the area just under 2 inches at Eglin Air Force Base, as well as at Pensacola Airport, also just under 2 inches at Colley, Navarre. So we really saw a lot of showers move through the area this morning, bringing us a lot of rain. Now, it looks like our forecast really is going to be pretty nice over the next few days now that that storm system has pushed out of the area. We are at 76 degrees right now at Pensacola Airport. Winds very light, just moving in at about 5 miles per hour right now. So not really bad going into this evening. 76 degrees again in Pensacola, 76 degrees in Crestview, 72 degrees over in Mobile. Now we are going to see some cooler temperatures throughout the evening and starting off tomorrow morning. I'm going to show you why that is. It's because we're seeing a cold front come from the north just behind the storm system that has moved through the area earlier this morning. Now fortunately, we really didn't see a lot of thunderstorms. We really just saw a lot of rain because it really stayed off to the south of us over the Gulf, which is great news for our area. In fact, if you take a look across our satellite right now, it looks like things are really clear throughout northwest Florida and South Alabama. And I think we're going to stay pretty clear throughout this evening. Now, we might see just a couple showers here or there, but I think that's going to be a very slight chance. So I do think that we are going to see a break from that rain. If you look at our future cast right now, you can see that we're still seeing some of those clouds trailing behind that storm system, but it really looks like things do shape out by tonight and into tomorrow morning. Now, we do have very slight chance of rain. We may just see a couple of raindrops early in the morning, but as you can see going into Friday, we're really seeing no clouds at all, which you can't complain going into the weekend. So very nice forecast straight ahead for us. In fact, if we give you a breakdown for tomorrow, it looks like by lunchtime we are going to be at 65 degrees. Again, I told you we are going to see cooler temperatures by the morning, just seeing a high tomorrow of 70 degrees, but we are going to see warmer temperatures roll back in just in time for the weekend. Overnight low 56 degrees tonight. Tomorrow you can expect to see a high of 70 degrees. Wind still a little breezy, 10 to 15 miles per hour, moving in from the northwest. And just like I said, look at that, going into the weekend, very nice temperatures, jumping right back up to just under 80 degrees. And with your weekend always in view, you can see we are going to see 80 degrees for a daytime high on Monday, seeing a slight chance of rain again by the middle of next week. But hey, you cannot complain. Look at that weekend forecast. And now it's time for our Pin the Weather winner, Rachel Shropshire. Very nice picture. Thanks for sending that in to us. That's exactly what you can expect to see this weekend.
Look at those pretty flowers in that picture.
Everything is blooming. Thank you, Jaimee.
Channel 3's Jaimee Lee joins us now and will tell us if we'll see any more of that rain overnight.
That's right, Sue. It was really nasty this morning. However, looks like things have really cleared out of here faster than we expected. And I really think that tonight's not looking too bad. We are still seeing a lot of cloud cover throughout the area, but that storm system has moved off to our south-southeast. In fact, if you take a look at our current conditions, absolutely clear throughout northwest Florida and South Alabama. Let's hope it stays that way this evening, although we do have a slight chance of rain going into tonight and early tomorrow morning. Cooler temperatures ahead as well for tomorrow morning, but we see that warm back up throughout the remainder of the week, a high tomorrow of 70 degrees.
Channel 3 News First Warning WeatherNet is brought to you by Sacred Heart Health System and Ailstock, Whitcomb, Crease and Overholtz. Here is Jaimee Lee.
Well, good evening. If you're taking a look right now at your TV screen, very nice conditions out there, much different than what we saw earlier this morning. You are looking live through our Hardee's Beach Cam. Pretty nice out there on Pensacola Beach. In fact, much different than where we were earlier this morning. In fact, if we take a look at our rain totals throughout the area, if we can go back to that really quick, looks like we did have a lot of rain throughout the area. There we go, just under 2 inches at Eglin Air Force Base and about a inch and a half at the airport, that is in Pensacola Airport, and just under 2 inches as well at Colley, Navarre. So lots of rain throughout the area. Now, if we look at our current conditions right now, 75 degrees in Pensacola, wind very light moving through the area, so that's great for us. Fortunately, that storm system did move throughout the area, and it is going to leave us with cooler temperatures. But right now, if you look throughout, we are 75 degrees in Pensacola, 75 degrees in Crestview, 72 degrees over in Destin, and 76 degrees in Milton, with actually a cooler 66 degrees in Mobile. Now, we are going to see those cooler temps even roll in overnight and into early tomorrow morning. That is due to the storm system we saw earlier this morning. You can see right now things are clear, but this is what we saw earlier this morning. That has moved off to the southeast of us, but we are still going to see some cloud cover moving throughout the area overnight. Now, if you look across the area right now, can't complain about this. Very clear throughout northwest Florida and South Alabama. But if you look ahead through our futurecast, you can see we're going to still see some of those clouds throughout the area tonight. Maybe still see a couple showers here or there, but I don't think that's really a high possibility. Going to be a very slight chance. Still going to see those clouds tomorrow morning with cooler temps, but they are going to clear out, bringing a nice weekend forecast in for us for Friday and Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to show you what that looks like here in just a second, but let's look at the breakdown for tomorrow. 65 degrees by lunchtime, but like I said, cooler temps as you wake up tomorrow morning. Only seeing a high of 70 degrees tomorrow, but not to worry, we are going to see warmer temperatures come throughout the remainder of the weekend. Now, if you want to go ahead and check out that forecast, head to our website, weartv.com. You can get weather information 24 hours a day. It's actually a pretty useful tool. Tonight, we're going to see an overnight low of 56 degrees. Tomorrow, daytime high of 70 degrees. But look at this. We see warmer temperatures move back in by Friday, jumping back up to the high 70s, staying in the high 70s by Saturday. But look at those overnight lows. Still seeing a slight chance of rain by tomorrow. But look at your weekend always in view here on Channel 3. Nice weekend forecast in store. And actually looks like we're going to see a very slight chance of rain move back in by the middle of next week. Now it's time for our
hot out there, but I take it no news is good news as far as the tropics go?
That's right. No news for the tropics, which is great. We are clear in the Atlantic and the Gulf, which is what we like this time of year. In fact, if we take a live look right now, it looks like things are pretty clear over Pensacola Beach. We're looking through our Hardee's cam, and we can see we're seeing no rain right now, which is good news. We'll keep our fingers crossed it stays that way. Unfortunately, we do have a chance of rain listed for our area all today. We are 81 degrees right now in Pensacola. Pretty nice. Not seeing any rain coming in from Pensacola Airport. However, we do have some rain listed for some areas in our viewing area. In fact, we are 81 degrees right now in Pensacola, 79 degrees in Crestview, and 77 degrees in Mobile. So pretty warm temperatures. Hopefully those will stay a little cooler as we see some of this rain move through. Now, we've been watching the oil tracker, of course, for almost the past 2 months, and we have seen a shift in it. In fact, if you take a look right underneath Pensacola Beach and Gulf Shores, we're pretty clear of it right now. However, we do still have some of that yellow area onshore, and that's what we're going to keep a watch on. But it looks like the main part of the oil slick is really off to the west of our viewing area right now, which is great news for us. Now, we have had nice weather all weekend long for the Blue Angels, for Jimmy Buffett. However, we do have a rain chance for today. In fact, we're already seeing some showers throughout our area. If we take a look off to the east of us, about north of I-10 over Crestview is where we're seeing most of some of those light showers right now, but we do have a chance for some pretty strong thunderstorms throughout today, mostly by lunchtime. And that's going to come after about 9 a.m. In fact, we're just seeing some clouds through our area right now. But again, by lunchtime, about noon today is when we jump up to about a 50% chance, and we're going to see that throughout the remainder of the day, taking us into dinner time. Now, that should clear up overnight, and we're going to see just a few clouds, but we do have a high of 93 degrees today. But here's the kicker. We have a heat index of 105 degrees, which is the warmest that we've had all summer long already. So keep those water bottles nearby. We want you to keep hydrated. We do have yellow flag listed for Pensacola Beach, moderate surf. Again, if you want to go swimming, try to catch it in between showers today. And it's the same thing for the marine forecast. We are seeing a light chop out there, seas at about 2 to 3 feet, and winds will be building throughout the evening. Looks like we do have pretty nice chance, though. Tomorrow's seeing only a 20% chance for afternoon showers. And then the remainder of the week is pretty much the same thing, 40 and 50% chance of rain off and on. But again, that heat index climbs even more by Wednesday and Thursday of this week.
105
heat index. Hottest we've seen all year.
That's what you call no bueno.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Exactly.
Right. Thank you, Jamie.